Hey there, Laura Lynch here. Thanks for coming back to hear more about the Tiny House Advisor. So, today we are going to talk about who benefits most from working with the Tiny House Advisor. And on your screen here, you can see a series of case studies that you can read in depth at thetinyhouseadvisor.com. Folks who benefit from working with the Tiny House Advisor are largely folks in a period of change in their life. So, the very first person that you can read about in the case studies is Liz. Liz is a very typical client of mine. Liz is a woman in transition. She has begun a period of independence in her life, and she's in the latter stage of her career and is really having a moment to consider what is most important to her from a geographic standpoint. Liz wants to be able to be close to family part of the time. She wants to be able to explore places she's never seen before. And so Liz is one of the many, many women turning to tiny living to have access to a home that doesn't require so much maintenance and upkeep and allows them to be geographically flexible. Now, Liz has to make some change in her career in order to make this work for her last working years. But this is largely a cash flow planning situation as well as a confidence building situation. Liz needs a thought partner and she needs a cheerleader. And so this is what I am for Liz, is someone to help her run the numbers, but also someone to give her confidence that she can achieve an unconventional life and that she has the smarts and the grit to do it, and that she can make this the next really valuable and meaningful chapter of her life. The second case study in our case studies is the Harrisons. So, this is a great family that's taken a moment to reconsider what they want to be doing in their day to day. Often, having a family will sort of trigger this rethinking about what's most important. And often, we reach a place in sort of midlife where we're wanting to reimagine ourselves. And so the Harrisons discover that they really want to spend more time with their children outdoors. And by getting out of the city and into a barndominium, they'll be able to allow the husband to pivot his career into something that he's really passionate about, and also to be able to spend more time in nature with their kids. So, again, this is a cash flow planning situation, understanding where the money is coming from and how it's plugging into the new lifestyle, and really aligning the future vision around their lifestyle and values, and then also making sure that we're keeping the long-term planning in mind, because the Harrisons are still really planning for a lot of other things, like perhaps future education and definitely their nest egg for the long term. So, Bob and Linda is our third case study here that you can read about on the tinyhouseadvisor.com. And Bob and Linda are what I aspire to be as I proceed on through my decades. They were tiny trailblazers and figured this whole smaller roof thing out much earlier in life. But planning on tiny living for the long term has some unique complexities to it. And so I really helped Bob and Linda figure out things like their healthcare services in tiny living, also making sure that their financial security is in a good position for the long term. Bob and Linda are also, like the Harrisons, having a little entrepreneurship element in their life. So they've got some side gigs that they are managing. And so helping them be really strategic and smart about their self-employment and using that self-employment to further their financial nest egg is something that I helped Bob and Linda with. So these three case studies you can read in depth at thetinyhouseadvisor.com. They represent some really quintessential clients that I can help on very specific tiny living transitions as well as ongoing planning. They are the ways that I have built this firm, and they are ideal relationships for me, and I am an ideal relationship for them. So thank you so much for understanding who the tiny house advisor helps the most. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can grab all the future content about all the many more questions about the tiny house advisor that I will be recording videos about.